So, am I the only one that doesn't drive a truck?
Yeah,
Yes.
you.
Yes.
I
And
don't.
he answers with a strike.
I don't think we were 7 seconds in, Tony.
This is the Five Dirty Bikers podcast, brought to you by Wild Ass Seats, keeping your rear in gear for the long haul. Join the Five Dirty Bikers on YouTube and chat with us on Discord. Visit fivedirtybikers.com to get your apparel and everything else. Now sit back, grab a drink, and let's get dirty as we dive into the world of bikes, keeping it raw and real. Here are the Five Dirty Bikers.
No kidding.
Might have to edit that out. That might trigger some people.
Yeah. I'm literally like, that is the opening. That is definitely the opening, but it's just going to be one long, like, censored
Well,
thing.
well, there you go. Yeah, I was going to say we could redo that. But, yeah.
No, I'm just going to censor it out.
Just
it's going to be
bleep
perfect.
it.
Yeah, because you can delete the words, so we're good.
Yeah, that'll trigger some people. But, you know.
Oh,
But he's
well.
got the fucking in there, though. So
Yeah.
it'd just be...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Then you can add your adjective onto it, whatever you want.
Exactly.
Believe whatever you may have said. You can take it as far as you want to go with it. So we discovered something, for those of you out in podcast land, in case you don't know this, but, we've been on this train for, I would say, years now about how Google phones are a piece of shit. And I need to add something to that list, which is also the T-Mobile a service that you get. That is also a piece of shit. It's been a rough run. But you think? Yeah, I just
one
haven't
of us
had.
is suffering from that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go this week and get it straightened out.
Not one of us is suffering. We're suffering. We're
all
suffering.
of us, yeah.
We're
Because
fucking
of
green
one of
bubble,
us,
man. Jesus Christ. It's just a green bubble. You all act like somebody's dick punching you every time I text. It's
Tony,
just a
it's
green
not,
bubble.
I can't send you a full quality video
Right.
because it's a green bubble. You're going to see it. It's going to be fuzzy.
don't
So if I'm
understand.
I take pictures of my ass. I send them to you. You can't see them in full quality.
Well, I knew
I can
something
take
was
a
going
picture
on.
from fucking base to hole of the chode and send it to everyone.
But we won't see it. It'll be grainy
Yeah.
because you got
Oh,
the
you'll
fucking
see
green
it.
bubble.
Yeah.
It'll be small
Oh,
and
you'll
grainy.
see it.
All it'll look like is a big brown bear.
It will be. What the hell is that?
It's a fucking wildebeest.
Goddamn said it's a squatch.
It'll be as censored as your opening was.
Oh.
Well,
So
here
how
we
was
are.
everybody's Thanksgiving?
Fucking busy,
Great.
dude.
I'm still
Yeah.
tired.
Holidays are amazing and terrible all at the same time. It's just way too busy.
Yeah,
That is true.
Yeah.
It can.
I had every
saw-
intention of being here because, and let's just shout out for those of us that weren't here, Andy and Dave, for the interview with Danger Dan. It was incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I wish I could have been there, but I'm also glad that I wasn't so that you guys could get a word in
Well,
edgewise.
Andy and I were glad you three weren't here.
I bet you
sure.
would.
Well,
So-
fuck you, and fuck you. I mean,
I saw some sort of a bullshit comment on the YouTube also, and it said I could have listened to more of that, or I wished it kept going, or some kind of bullshit
Yeah,
like that. And I was
yeah.
like, come on.
I
'Cause it
hear
was-
that
it
all
was-
the time.
It was just that amazing. Yeah, I bet you do, man.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
felt
hear
like that
that all
was
the
the grandest compliment we could get.
Yeah, no, you guys held it down, and I
Did Andy leave it?
I fully appreciate it. That was I mean, we all have situations, and Prentice and ours just happened to be last minute, and it sucked.
And I'll point out, I did that from my son's RV parked in his backyard.
Yeah.
Creepy.
2 bars of internet.
So
2
you were
bars
like,
of internet. Dave was out back, had Reynolds wrap up his ass, trying to catch a signal.
Pretty much.
you were like the
2 feet in the
van down
snow.
by the river guy.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
much.
live in a van down by the river. I need some Wi-Fi. Somebody give me some Reynolds.
Yeah. Yeah, you missed it. You missed it, Tony. I was just telling him how that Walmart accident my daughter had completely cut her nasal septum all the way across, dude.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it was gnarly. It was gnarly.
So is it going to be called Ryan's Mart now?
No, dude, it's not. But you know what? You know what's really interesting is that my wife got a message from corporate literally the next day.
I bet.
Really?
The next morning, there was like, Walmart, Arkansas So it was from their corporate offices in Arkansas calling to talk to my wife about it. And they were, very nice and, asked a bunch of questions. And then they did ask if we planned on litigating, and
I'm sure.
my wife was like, no, we're not litigating. Like, and they do their own investigation and kind of let you know, like, hey, we might pay for it, we might this, we might that, and they have to do an investigation. And basically, I think that the only reason they're not paying for it, but the only reason they're not is because my daughter was kind of in full control.
Oh, boy.
Had that item fallen off of a shelf or, whatever, or just, whatever it was that if she wouldn't have been in full control of it, they would be paying for everything. So,
Who saw it, though?
What's that? Well, I mean, we were honest. Come on,
They got cameras,
it was
too,
one of those
yeah.
things, and
They have cameras.
No, what the?
yeah,
Cameras now.
yeah, and I'm one of those people, like, accidents happen. It literally was a freak accident. It's not like a display tipped over on her or something like that. It was a freak accident. So,
Well, what I
such a
want to
good
know
dude.
Damn,
is,
I'm like,
Andy,
is she
what the hell
gonna,
is that?
neck and my back hurt.
Oh, water.
what I
Holy
want to know
Jack.
is she going to grow a mustache
Mary
like
Christ,
yours
getting
to
after
cover
it
up
on a
that scar?
Monday.
no, it's not going to be a scar because it's literally up like on the inside of her nose. You'll never see it once it heals. So
Ryan's beard isn't to cover up a scar; it's the stretch mark.
yeah, the
But I
stretch
am
marks
double
and my
fisted, Tony.
face. Double fisting, just another Tuesday.
What are you, parched?
Right. Double Fist Tuesday.
Oh, it's
A little
canned,
wine and a
it's
little
canned
water.
Wine. It's
Wine
canned
in
wine.
a can.
A little holy and a little hood.
Did you see that? She when she opened up the can, she like flicked her hand like, oh, I got this shit on my hand. I just flicked it right off.
I've never seen wine in a can.
I could suck it off.
That's a hell of a vintage.
I mean,
could what
let's
now?
take
I
a
could
minute
suck
to
it.
to appreciate this. She's drinking wine from a can and water from a can.
And I'm going to tell you that that water from a can is a complete mind fuck. I can't drink it.
It is a mind fuck.
It's
an
something.
expensive
It's
mind
something
fuck.
wrong with it.
Hey Tony, I tell you what, Greg and Andy introduced me this summer to not only like the Liquid Death in a can, but they have also flavored water in those Liquid Death ones. So that one is even more of a mind fuck because it's like a flavored water situation, same thing but in a can. Those are actually very delicious, by the way.
I mean,
The
that might.
cherry is great.
Have you seen it in a carton
Gotta pop
too?
it.
The water in a carton.
yeah, I
Fuck
can't.
off with that.
Isn't,
Fuck
isn't
off
that
with that.
isn't that milk?
It's water in a fucking carton. And
Yes, if it's skim, I guess.
Yeah.
fuck off with that. I don't
Yeah.
want that
Yeah,
shit.
2%
I would
skim
tell you
milk
that
water
sucks.
in a carton.
Give it to me in some plastic bottles. I don't give a fuck about those turtles.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I
Can
can't
somebody
do the
the
water.
disclaimer?
Yeah, yeah.
And a bunch of straws. You can keep those wet ass paper straws too. Those
I
things are
agree with
like
that.
a little dick in your drink. I don't want it.
I agree. Paper straws are bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's terrible.
Five Dirty Bikers loves the animals. We do not condone any activity that would endanger your wildlife. Do not molest
Thank you,
alligators.
Prentice.
There
And
are
don't
signs
touch
everywhere.
the fluffy cows.
Yeah. Well, I'm just
Oh,
saying.
shoot.
Give me the plastic.
I had a thought, but it got completely derailed.
Did it
by
hurt?
Cartoned water. Yeah. Because you're right. What the fuck is the purpose?
Yeah, what the fuck's the purpose of that, dude? Even milk comes in a goddamn plastic jug.
The first time I encountered one of those paper straws, we were in Florida at in Clearwater at a resort, and we got this really amazing drink. And I had finished about half of it before I was probably
Collapsed on you.
I was probably like 6 drinks into the night before I had this amazing drink that had the paper straw in it. And then when I got it, I immediately, I started drinking my drink, and I was about halfway through the drink before I realized it was paper, and it like got soggy and collapsed and did all, and I just like took it out and threw it on the ground.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And my wife was like, "Well, that just defeats the purpose. Now you've just thrown the paper straw on the ground and littered." And I was like, "Well, they shouldn't have given me the stupid paper
Does
straw."
it though? Because it's biodegradable.
I was
Then
going
I
to say,
asked, I'm like, "Can I get a regular straw?" And she's like, "No, we don't have those here." But
How about those dildos that pack around those metal straws?
All right. Well,
What's up?
You know they're
probably
using them
do
for
that, don't
something
you,
else.
Dave?
we do that.
fuck
we
you.
pack 'em.
No, because when I grew up, all they had was paper straw, so I know how to utilize a paper straw.
When was that?
It was right before the wheel, Prentice.
Tell me more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's another fucking thing. Who screws their top back on their Coke every time they get done taking a drink?
I don't drink Coke, so
I
not
do
me.
that.
There's
Yeah, I do
Dave,
that,
right?
Tony.
Why?
Do you leave the
What's
top
the
off,
purpose?
Tony? Do you leave
Yeah,
the top
I
off?
feel like
Fuck
that's
yeah,
a
man.
little.
I'm
That's
not
a little
wasting
more
my time
sociopathic.
screwing that fucking thing back on and off again.
You leave the top, then your Coke goes flat. The whole point is to keep your Coke from going flat.
You know
I
what?
doubt
I
she
grew up
doesn't
in an
last
era
that
where
long.
you had pull-off tabs on a fucking can that you
lived
couldn't
in an era.
close.
You lived in an era, Tony, where a lot of stuff
And you
pulled
know what?
off.
The next time I go to a restaurant, they bring me a Coke and a straw. Can I get a fucking top for that so I can take it on and off?
We have
Waste
every
everybody's
era
time.
of civilization like captured in this podcast.
Well,
because
yeah.
you're
Let
from an
me-
era.
Yeah.
Dave's
Let
from
me
an
just
era.
let me just say, Ryan's not correct for why I do it. I put it back on because I've been working around computer equipment for many, many, many years, and I can't tell you how many people have come screaming to me because they fucking knocked their drink over and spilled shit all over their keyboard.
God.
Can you
Damn,
shake it up
Dave
a little
comes
more,
up
Dave?
with a good reason to do it. I didn't think
Now-
As I
anybody
sit
would
here
have a
with
good
Open it,
my-
reason.
Dave. Dave, open it. Shake it up and open it. Do it. You won't. You won't do it.
I remember the fucking pull-off tops that you'd cut your fucking feet on all the time. You remember
oh,
those,
yeah.
don't you,
So,
Dave?
Tony, you were probably drinking
yeah.
beer with those pull-off tops, weren't you?
Fuck yeah, man.
You could fling those fuckers, man.
Yeah.
We could do
Tap
what,
dance.
Dave? We didn't catch any of that. It
Could-
sounded like you
would-
just
you could
zorked
shoot
out.
them. You talking about the ones on the old ones on the cans?
The
Yeah,
pull-off
yeah.
tops, the peel-off.
yeah,
pull-off
yeah.
tops.
You could shoot each
Yeah.
other with those things.
Yeah.
What was the beer? What was the beer, Tony, that always had those? Was it Miller? Or,
Everything had it.
Coors?
Everything had
Oh yeah.
those.
Everything had them, man. Cokes, everything.
Well, shit.
There's a
back,
brewery out of Nebraska that went back to that. That's doing it again. They're pretty cool.
Really?
back in
That's cool.
Vietnam, I'm sure they probably did have them.
And
Dave.
nothing would piss you off more when that little ring broke off and you didn't get it open. You're like, sucker, man.
And you're taking
you
your
had to
key,
use your
trying
tongue
to
or
jam
what?
it down and not
Yep.
cut your thumb
Yep.
while you're doing it. Yeah.
Is this what it feels like explaining Walkmans to Gen Z? Because that's what I feel like right now.
Yeah.
The roles have been reversed.
Hand Gen
probably.
Z a fucking telephone, a dial telephone, and see if they can figure it out.
They'll be
They'll
lost.
be they'll be the first comments on this YouTube video just from the opening line.
Well, they can
Oh, yeah.
fuck straight off.
I remember when the Walkman came out, man. That was in fact,
Yeah, that was
they
big- that was
actually
big-time
made
shit.
it illegal to wear Walkmans on military installations within the first year.
That kind of makes sense, though. I like that. To me, that makes sense.
Well,
if
it's like-
anywhere.
I think it's like New Jersey. I think New Jersey has a law now that you can't walk the streets of New Jersey with your AirPods in, because like
Really?
10 people died in 1 year.
Really?
Yeah, like one
That's
dude
called
straight up.
natural selection.
Well, that's what I think too, Andy. But one dude straight up fell down a manhole. Like if you're walking with your AirPods in and you fall in a manhole, you deserve to die.
Dude, you don't
Yeah.
blame it on the AirPods. It's just
No,
a
yeah.
fucking idiot.
yeah. Oh, I wonder if Apple investigated that bullshit.
that had
Jesus.
They were
nothing
afraid
to-
of being
that had
litigated.
nothing to do with him not hearing the fucking manhole.
No,
Right? It
this
doesn't matter
had
if you
nothing to
can
do with
hear
it.
or not. The guy was just an idiot.
Maybe he closed his eyes when he was listening to music.
He must
Yeah,
have been
maybe he
jamming.
did.
Fucking douchebag.
Yeah, he was
Right down
listening.
the
He was
manhole.
listening to some Purple Rain.
doing
Distracted
this-
walking.
He was doing the Stevie Wonder.
Oh, he
Yeah,
was,
he was.
straight Stevie Wonder in that.
Yeah.
bitch.
There's literally a movie about this. My kids just watched it. It's
About
like
Stevie
this-
Wonder.
No, it's about this jazz musician who falls down a manhole and dies while listening to music on headphones because he has his eyes closed.
And then they
Soul.
come back.
It's called Soul. It's a Disney movie. It's like a jazzy
Oh,
Disney
I
movie,
haven't,
and it's
I haven't
really
seen
good.
the
It's a
movie, but I know what
cartoon.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good, but that's literally how he dies. Sorry, spoiler alert for
Good
those.
lord.
Oh,
gonna
shit.
go watch
Well,
it.
I
Good
guess I'm
job.
not
Good
watching
job,
that.
Linus.
You
Wait,
just
I
said
thought
you
you
know
were
he
saying
ate
it's a
that
Christmas
one.
movie.
Yeah, it happens in the first 5 minutes.
Hey,
so
you
you're
want to
good.
tell everybody what happens at the end of Gladiator now, too,
Yeah,
Prentice?
really. What happened at the end of Gladiator 2?
Too soon. Too soon. I never
Gee.
watched it. I haven't seen it yet.
I have to go
Me
see
neither.
this next week when I get home.
I'm
It's
watching
good. It's
Hallmark
very good.
Christmas specials.
There's probably
Too
a
busy
lot of
watching
people
those.
that doesn't realize there was a original one.
A Gladiator 1.
Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
A whole generation of people.
Yeah, a whole generation. It's the same with like that Twisters movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
My
that
kids
remake.
were
yeah.
watching, and
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, "This is a sequel." They go, "No, it's not. Standalone movie." I said,
well,
"It is
well, wait a
fucking
minute.
not."
So have you seen it?
Yeah.
Is it a remake or is it a sequel?
It is not really either. It's pretty much a standalone. There's a little reference in the first of it to the original, but that's about it.
Yeah, they show the equipment, and it's still called the Dorothy 2 or whatever.
Yeah. So there's some reference points to the first one, but in their defense, if you didn't know the first one existed, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, it's true.
Kind of like Maverick, right?
You can watch it. What?
Top Gun Maverick?
Everybody said with Top Gun Maverick, you didn't need to see the first one.
Hey.
Yeah.
We're not going to make a comparison. It's
that
not
was
a fair
definitely a
comparison.
sequel.
Yeah.
Maverick
It was?
definitely a sequel.
Yeah.
And
And they had a lot of callbacks that
Yeah.
wouldn't make sense if you never saw the first one.
probably one of the
Well.
best movies made in the last 10 years. Come on.
That's
agree.
fucking awesome, dude. I was in the movie theater. I was like,
Oh, dude. I was ready to run through walls. I was like, let's go.
Yeah. My 12, she was 12, she's 13 now. She was 12 or 11 when we watched it. She cried coming out of Maverick. She was like,
That was fucking
Daddy, that movie was so good.
you know what? It was a movie that just was entertaining. Unlike
Yeah.
most of the movies nowadays, you come out and you want to eat a bullet.
Yeah.
Those are so fucking depressing and dark.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
That one had the
I
right amount of
agree.
nostalgia to it.
I thought the movie was good. I agree. You don't get it.
the fuck is
What
wrong
was
with that guy?
that, dude?
You don't get it.
I'm going to
Didn't
say...
Didn't you see Maverick?
Oh,
Did you guys not watch it?
Oh, damn.
That's
that's what he was doing. Wow. He went,
You didn't sound like Iceman. You sound like somebody
Damn.
got their tonsils punched out by a
Straight
dick.
to hell for you,
So-
Dave.
so
Straight to
Val
hell.
Kilmer,
Wow.
man.
He went dark. He went real dark.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I'm going to have to edit out that entire segment right there. That's
Wow.
just terrible.
Jesus.
Tony just talks about how entertained he was, and Dave went real dark with
He
it all
went
of a sudden.
real dark. I didn't get it at first. I was like,
The best part about it was that, like, so when we upload these just for those of you that don't know, this is how the cheese is made. When we upload these podcasts, everyone, most of the time seems okay, but as we record them, when Dave's doing that voice, it actually did, like, buffer out, so it, like, had an actual robotic voice that went with it on my end. So, like, there was some, like, buffering, and, like, you really sounded like that. So
I
it was
didn't know
even
what
better.
Nice.
It's very confusing.
Too bad I'm not at home with my Roadcaster, where I could.
You're
have
not
done
at
the
home.
robot
You're
voice.
not. You wouldn't happen to be motorcycle camping, would you?
I am actually moto camping right now.
No, you're in a hotel.
Ooh.
As in motorboating,
That is
camping.
moto camping, Percy style.
Perfect.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Thank you.
I don't. You know what's funny? I have a homie. His name's Aaron. I'm going to call him out because he deserves to be called out. We both have baggers now, and I'm like, dude, let's ride to Tennessee. And he's like, yeah, man, like absolutely, like, you know, we can trailer the bikes up there and like ride around the track. And I'm like, dude, it's like literally like an 8-hour ride. We could just ride 4 hours, stay the night, and stay the night or camp out one time and do something else. So I'm trying to get him to camp out probably for 3 years now. We've been friends for a long time. And he just won't do it, dude. It's like, no, I have to be in a hotel. Like, that's moto camping for him.
But, a hotel has its place. I'm not going to lie. After a few days
I
out
love-
there,
yeah.
it's like, man, I need a hotel room.
Yeah. Once I hit
You know.
40, I kind of get it. I understand.
My taint's sticky. It's time for a shower. There's some things you have to do.
Yeah.
time
You know what?
consuming.
Every couple days, I like that.
Well, Tony, you went deep. I mean, when you started camping, you went from like not staying in anything less than Hilton to like deep off woods, backwoods, no electricity.
I did. I went in. I took it deep, man. Basically, the John Holmes facial.
Going out there digging a hole and shitting in it out in the middle of the woods.
I'm not going that far.
Wait a minute. Yeah, you did. I mean, didn't your nephew get bit right in the taint by a snake?
Yes, he did. He took
taking
one
a
right
shit?
to the balloon knot.
Yeah, taking
Oh,
a shit.
my God.
Yeah,
What kind of a
That's-
snake was it?
that's
It
a
was
real
just
story,
It was
Prentice.
just a mere. It was just a small copperhead.
It was a butthole snake.
It still bit him. It still bit him right in the taint, though.
The tube snake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tube snake.
The funny thing is, he was so racked up on vodka, he just thought it like a mosquito bit him. He didn't know it was a snake bite. So the next day, he just started going downhill, man. We were like, "Fuck, man, he's just hung over." I was like, and I wasn't gonna look at it. So he kept complaining how sore it was getting, and I was like, "Oh man, he's
Come on, man.
you
Look
know,
at
that
the
must have
taint.
been a hell of
Help
a
him out.
mosquito."
So you didn't
Wait,
offer
I
to
thought
there was
suck
like
the
a
poison
code.
out?
No, he would have died on that one. It's a real good thing he didn't get that necrotizing fasciitis right on his taint.
Yeah, so I mean, it was kind of crazy because in the morning he was fine, just complaining that it was hurting, and then as the day went on, the chills and puking and sweats and all that stuff started happening.
Well, I've got a question for Andy as our resident butt medical expert.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't know that about Andy?
Are you you into proctology?
I was a GI nurse for 6 years.
Does that include proctology?
Well,
It can.
kind of, sort
How
of.
much?
There's an upper and a lower GI.
So
She did them both.
Yeah.
is the GI basically all the plumbing?
It's the gastrointestinal system. Yes.
It's like all
Yeah.
the plumbing from the rooter to the tutor,
From lips to
from lips to lips.
Yep.
well,
Yeah.
no.
Wow.
You guys don't have lips. I have lips.
Some of them do.
You guys have sphincters.
Yeah.
We all have sphincters. From lip to sphincter, I guess, is what you would
From
say.
lips to
Yeah.
rooter
Oh,
to
no.
the tutor.
So in
There
all
you
of
go.
your
Might have
years, in all of your years of working in that field, have you ever had someone that came in that had a snake bite on their ass?
No.
No. How about
I
a
mean,
snake up their ass?
no.
No.
Not a real one.
Well, there you go.
I had a buddy growing up. He was an EMT down in Florida, and he picked up a guy that had a mini Louisville Slugger up his ass.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you know, was he trying to get that on the plane? Because people sometimes don't realize you can't take
No,
that
I
with
think he
you
was
on your
just doing this for
carry-on.
fun. I
Yeah.
don't think he was trying to smuggle anything.
Just for business
I
and
think this
pleasure.
was just to say, hey, I think I can do this.
I mean, they tell you at the museum you can't take this on your carry-on. You have to put it in your check luggage. I've been there. I've done the whole thing.
I mean-
I haven't stuck it on my ass. I've put it in my check luggage.
When you start keystering stuff, you're in a situation. When the prison
Yeah.
wallet comes out, you need to start rethinking shit.
Yeah.
Shoot.
You lost a
You've-
bet on that one.
You
don't
did.
just
I'm-
you don't just
I'm
look
gonna
at
keister
look
this.
at one of those mini Louisville Sluggers and think, wonder if I can fit this whole motherfucker in my ass.
Think,
No,
Maybe he soaked it in something, Maybe he was like looking for
Gelled
soaked
it
in
up.
caffeine and just, it's like, over the next
Jesus.
couple of days, I'll just soak all this up.
no one walks through that door a winner.
no one.
No.
No, I would agree. No, I've never seen a snake bite on a taint or
What
an
about any
asshole.
undercarriage?
I'm not an OB nurse, but I've seen some pretty impressive tears. You can be torn from, nobody that's listening to this wants to hear about that.
Yeah,
That's
no,
true.
We got sidetracked.
Yeah, if your
let's get off
wife
the
has had a baby,
undercarriage
you
talk.
talk to her about that.
Yeah.
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 Spend too much time there. We've spent too much time there. Back out.
In the undercarriage.
Yeah, back out.
We were really trying to dissect the
Yeah.
undercarriage there to see
Yeah.
exactly what was going on.
It's hard to make that sexy and dirty at the same time. It's just dirty.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
dirty. It's just all around dirty.
Yeah. It's even hard to keep it clean.
So
Some
Tony,
people pay for it.
Bidet.
I think you moved from novice to expert in this whole camping situation,
well,
didn't you?
as I do with all things,
How many
I
years did
buy
it take you?
absolutely everything I can find, and then through process of elimination, whittle it down to what works.
Okay.
I like that.
So I have an entire garage full of shit.
So, did you get anything that you feel like would be a useful utensil to be using if you're motorcycle camping?
Yeah, man, because actually, the things that I found are the best are things that serve dual purposes instead of just one purpose. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yep.
So, for instance, like the jet boil. You guys
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what that is?
Yep.
Nope.
Jet
One
boil
of
is
those,
awesome.
Man, love it.
So a jet boil is it's an integrated stove and like cup all in one. So not only can you boil water with it, but you can make coffee with it with a French press, and you can also use the cup as a mug. So you're knocking out like 3 different things with one item instead of having a stove and carrying a pot and then a percolator to make coffee or something else. So stuff that you can use for more than just one purpose is really great for
Right.
camp. You know what I mean?
Yep. One of the things we did, or we have
So
done,
what's that called again?
A jet boil.
jet boil.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yep.
Love it.
One of the things that we've
Yeah, they're
done
great.
with a group of guys that I camp with is that
we will actually in our group thread, when we're planning a camping trip, we will talk about who's going to bring what in the camping set. Like, we don't need 4 people to bring jet boils, right? Or 4 people to bring a French press. Only you know, like my buddy Kenny, he has a French press, so somebody else will bring the coffee, so he doesn't have to bring the coffee. He just brings the coffee maker, right?
That's a pro tip. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a pro tip, right? Exactly. Like if you're going with other people, you just everybody brings a couple of things, and you know, it allows you to, everybody has room for all the stuff you want. It's like we've gone and camped in a couple of state parks, and Kenny has a really nice axe, so we can, you know, chop up some of our own.
What?
He has a nice what now?
A-X-E.
Oh, I mean,
You know, Ryan does like to sport.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask which one brings the condoms.
Yeah. I mean, we're all old. We don't.
Hey,
we don't use
Ryan,
that
if
shit
you woke
anymore.
up naked with
shooting
condoms
blanks.
all around you, would you tell anybody?
I mean, it depends on who was there. Like, if I woke up naked with condoms all around, and like I was just at like a Dallas Cowboys
trap.
cheerleader camp.
No, if
Then,
you were camping with a bunch of guys and you woke up naked
a
with a
trap.
bunch of condoms around you, would you tell anybody?
It's a
I would
trap.
tell. I would ask who fucked me.
You
That's
wouldn't
what
tell?
I would do.
Oh.
I wouldn't tell anyone.
Oh, you want to go camping?
Yeah, let's go. I've seen wild hogs enough.
No, I'll tell you what I think would be great for fucking motorcycles, dude, is a hammock camping.
Yeah.
Because a hammock is, especially if you get one designed for like sleeping in,
Yeah.
they fold up into something as small as a water bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they come with you know, if you get the really nice ones, the top of it's a screen, so
Yeah,
you don't have
get
any,
it
you
with
don't have
a
any
bug
bugs.
net. Yeah,
Yeah.
bug net, and they fold up really, really small. And you
Yep.
can also get like the Tenza makes these like one pole stands. So it's like a 2 pounds for the stand. It's just one pole that you stake off, and you can hang a hammock in the middle of it if
Yep.
you don't have trees. Getting off the ground is key
Yeah.
when you're camping.
The other thing though with those, Tony, is that if it does get cool at night, you need to have the right type of blanket to have underneath you. If you're not going to be in a sleeping bag, because that's where you get that's where it gets cold from, is underneath you.
Yeah, underneath. So what they make is they make under quilts
Yep.
that mount under the hammock.
Yep.
And even some hammocks, like that, there's a few brands out there that have a quilt integrated in it already, so you don't have to sweat it.
The other ones too I've seen that are a little bit bigger are the hammocks that have a built-in rain fly. So not only does it have that zipper screen, but it has a rain fly, so you can be off the ground and dry. The only thing about that though, Tony, is that it's really hard to keep the rest of your camping shit dry if you don't have like a place to put it.
Yeah,
You know?
you would have to have a tarp. If you get a
Yeah.
tarp big enough, you could keep the stuff under that. But for putting it in a motorcycle, it's small. You
Yeah,
know
it's
what I
really
mean?
small.
It's small, and it's under it's like a pound and a half. It's ridiculously light
Yeah.
and doesn't
The-
take up a lot of room.
The
You know,
other
Ricky
key,
from our Discord, Moto Ricky
Yeah.
Ricardo, I think he uses a hammock a lot when he goes camping. He used to anyway. He used to do a lot of moto camping.
Yeah, the other thing I always tell people too is that if you're going to start doing motorcycle camping, if you just Google like motorcycle camping gear, there's not as much. What you want to do is go on like Amazon or any of these, you know, even go to what's that fucking camping store that's
REI.
REI. Go
Yeah.
look on REI, but look for anything that's used for backpack camping.
Or
Because it's
ultralight,
all,
right?
yeah, it's all small and works really great for motorcycle camping.
Ultra light.
Yeah, it's ultralight.
Yeah.
Yep. And the other suggestion that I have that's worked out really, really well for me, especially if you're just trying to like get into camping, is buy all your shit off Amazon to start with, because you can get so many things super cheap. And then if you're like, okay, this is actually super cheap and shitty, then you can like upgrade to things that don't work. I mean, I'm still using the Amazon I bought a set of dishes, you know, like that folds into like a thing about 6 or 8 inches big, and it has a couple pots and a folding cup and all these different things in it, right? I'm still using that right now, and I bought that off Amazon, and I've camped with it probably 10 times. So, you know, some of these things, and I paid $20 for the whole set of like 32 items.
The only thing I've had to replace that came with it was the thing that screws on the top of your canister to cook food with, because I didn't buy a jet boil like Tony was talking about.
Well, I bought 3 jet boils, 2 stoves. I went through everything trying to figure it out. And the funny thing is like what works for you, I might grab it and go, this is the biggest hunk of shit I've ever had in my life. And what works for me may not work for you. So it's kind of tough because you really got to go out there and through the process of elimination, figure out what works for you and your flow of how you do things.
Yep.
I will say one of the nice things about the jet boil is it's a system, right?
Yep.
So you can get different things to use with the jet boil. That's all part of the same system. That was one of the first things I bought when I went on that camping trip out to the first MMM.
Yeah, the jet boils are fucking great. And they do pretty good as a French press, too. They're not perfect, but, I mean, if you're out in the woods, they do really well.
The other thing that somebody told me, and it sounds kind of awful when you talk about it, but it makes for a great kind of just like, because when we first started doing it, it was like, you ride for 10 or 12 hours to get to your campsite, and the last thing you want to do is try to figure out what you're going to do for dinner that night. And what we did was we packed ramen and beef jerky, and we threw the beef jerky and cooked it in the ramen, and it reconstitutes the beef jerky, so it kind of plumps up again, or I don't know, it reconstitutes it anyway, so it's not dried meat.
When things plump up.
Right, exactly. But that's a real easy thing.
We go back to the condoms again.
Well, I'm just saying, when things start plumping up,
it's a real easy thing, super cheap, and you can get something in your belly that's easy to cook. You can use your jet boil or whatever, and get some protein at the same time.
Dude, those ramen noodles.
Here's the thing, though, man. I mean, when you're camping in a hotel, most of them have a restaurant or a marketplace, and you can reconstitute whatever you want.
Jesus, Dave.
For food.
So can I show you guys? I did a lot of research, and I kind of just was like, wow, what if I had my dream of camping? How do I share with you guys my screen?
We don't know. We don't share a lot.
Well, I'm glad you said screen.
Screen. Can you guys?
I can't see shit.
Hold on.
I think if you hit the share.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
The best.
Ryan, does your thing say not wearing pants?
You just noticed that,
Are you hanging brain over there?
So this is my type of camping. So I feel like I just feel like this would be fine. I think there's this little kitchenette here where you could make coffee that doesn't have grounds in it.
Nice.
So that would be great. Oh, and a king-size bed, motherfucker. Look at that.
Wow.
You know what you could do in that king-size bed? You could do a lot of things.
I bet you can.
I bet you could.
Oh, no. Oh, look, you could. You know what you could do in that shower, that full-size shower?
You're not doing anything in that shower but maybe getting wet.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Wait a
done.
minute.
That thing's fucking
Go down,
tiny.
Go down to the last picture, Andy. Is that where you put your motorcycle at, too?
Oh, yeah, and that's where the Oh, hold on. I have to go back. Let's see. Yeah, that's where your motorcycle sleeps. Isn't that nice?
Put the picture up. I can't see it.
Okay, here.
Make it big.
Yeah, see, that's where your motorcycle sleeps.
Wow.
Yeah. There we go.
See, now, if you really loved your motorcycle, that's where you would put it at night.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm
Tuck it
impressed.
in.
There you go.
Just a thought. That's all. I just want you guys to know I did some research. I didn't want you guys to feel like I was just going to sit here the whole time.
I thought you were down.
$52,000.
I thought you were down for adventure, Andy, and then here you just show up,
Yeah,
throw
what the
out the
fuck is
fifth wheel.
this?
I am.
Have you ever been motorcycle camping?
No. Ask me the last time I slept in a tent.
You got to get out of the tent. You got to get off the ground. I'm here to tell you.
No.
It's fucking
Yeah,
key.
no. Greg and I slept in a tent, I think, the very first year that we dated. And I was like, oh, motherfucker, I'm not doing that again. So very quickly we bought campers, and we had a little motorhome to start with, and then we had a toy hauler, but we sold our toy hauler last summer because now we don't camp at all because we're stuck at our motel/motorcycle, destination all summer long. But
Right.
people drive to see us. That's what happens during the summer here. But no.
Yeah, we actually in our group thread, one of my buddies, actually Nick, who if you guys have ever been to FDBM or whatever, you've all met Nick. He's the one that brought it up this year. He's like, hey guys, I think that we need to spend some more time camping next summer. So, he's really down. I will also tell you,
that the other thing I discovered over the last few years of camping is that you get a very different experience if you camp at a like camping resort kind of place versus a national park or a state park. The reason why, for instance, a state park or a national park typically doesn't spray for bugs. So we've had a couple of experiences where it's been extraordinarily buggy, and it's really hard to even enjoy your camping experience if the bugs are so bad you can't even sit outside.
Dude, I'll tell you what I found for fucking
state.
bugs. Fuck,
What's
I
that,
forgot
Tony?
the name of it. Hang on, I gotta look it up.
Is that bug
Hang
music?
on.
But Ryan, I think
Hang on.
some states have restrictions. Like some states just won't spray. Period.
Yeah, that's my phone.
That's
Hang on.
Tinkerbell. Don't kill the fairy.
Dude, that's Tony's ringtone. What
So
the
good.
fuck is he doing? Can you see him dancing around like a ballerina with his phone
that's why he
rings?
turned this
And
camera
why
off.
did he
He
turn his
doesn't want us to
camera
see.
off? That's YouTube.
He
That's
turned his-
YouTube perfection right there.
He turned
Tony
his-
worked for the CIA.
Yeah,
He turned
maybe.
his video off so he couldn't hear his phone. Tony's not technologically savvy. Hey, Prentice, I got a question for you. You're not chiming
on
in
a
here
second.
much. What's your experience camping in
Let's
the
have it.
swamps down in Florida?
You get bit by anything that flies, pretty much. Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, it's
You have to worry about
extremely hard to
gators?
camp in the summer. I'm never worried about gators, really. No, I mean, if you have a dog, yeah. But like where we go kayaking and stuff, like we go camping and kayaking. You just go right past the gators. I mean, it depends on where you are. Like there's one that we did not long ago called King's Landing, and I think we counted 18 or 19 gators. So I'm not really worried about that. More than anything, like Ryan said, it's the bugs. Like you just like it is mentally tiring to get bit by mosquitoes and no-see-ums. I don't know if you guys know what no-see-ums are.
Yeah, they're awful. They're awful.
Like
yeah.
we have those in the summer, and it's just it'll just ruin the entire night. Like no matter, it's like no, there's no like weakness involved in that. It mentally sucks to get bitten that many times by anything. And then if you're trying to like like you were talking about going to like a KOA, if you're trying to go to an established campground, like forget it. In the winter in Florida, like everyone from up north is coming out down here and doing the same thing. So a lot of the times when we camp, we'll escape and go north, right, to North Carolina, to the mountains. So I would really like to do a motorcycle camping trip. I think logistically it would probably end up like, I would love to go to the Ozarks, maybe ride halfway, camp, then camp out in the Ozarks and come back. But that's all I
Dude,
got.
fuck the Ozarks. That fucking is the hottest goddamn place.
The hottest place?
It's fucking hot, dude. It's Satan's taint.
We had an FDBM there, and it was hot as balls.
Oh, really?
Well, it's just,
Have you
I
had-
mean, because I spent a lot of time in the woods down in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Lot of time. They got like fucking airborne ticks that like jump out of the trees on your head and shit. That's,
Oh,
All
yeah.
right, so I found this
definitely
thing
wouldn't go.
for the bugs. It's called a thermocell.
Does it work?
Okay.
I've heard of
Yeah.
those.
What is it?
It's basically a little thing. It's it's the size of maybe a Coke can, and you put a bug repellent little card in there, and you turn it on.
Yeah.
It's battery powered, and it basically puts a bubble around you. So like for 25 feet around this thing, the bugs do not. You can watch them 25 feet away.
So it really
No
does
shit.
work.
Yeah, it's like a fucking force field. It's great.
Thermocell,
So here-
huh?
Thermocell.
Okay.
So here's what's interesting. Of all 5 of us, I don't worry about mosquitoes unless I travel east.
I went
'Cause
one time this
once you-
spring.
Why? Why, Andy?
Well, once you get past the Missouri River, it actually gets very dry over here. We don't have the humidity. So, like, we just
You don't have
we just-
mosquitoes.
No, I mean, if we have a very, very wet summer, you can get mosquitoes out here, but that happens maybe like once every 7 years. I think since Greg and I have lived here, I think we've been here for 15. I think we've had 2 really wet summers that suck that bad. But
You've only
no,
been wet up there twice the whole time you guys have been there?
super wet, like wet enough to get mosquito. Well,
That should happen
shoot.
more often. That should happen
No,
more often.
I'm good with it.
You
Well,
need to talk to someone.
oh no, God damn it!
We're
Don't go
listening
there,
if you
Andy.
need to
There's-
talk
there's
to
no
someone.
way you're gonna win that
wade
one.
into that one.
Yeah.
What about ticks? Do
waded
you all
into that
have
one.
ticks?
Yeah, we have ticks.
Ticks are
We have
horrible.
ticks.
Yeah, we have ticks here too. Ticks are
Yeah.
not good. Yeah.
Because we
I mean,
went.
I have 2 of them.
Jennifer and I went this spring, and we were going to do an all-weekend thing, and we got there, and the fucking mosquitoes and the ticks were so bad that we came home the next day.
Yeah.
Ticks are
I mean, it
horrible.
was just awful.
My mom lives in Arkansas. Yeah, my mom lives in Arkansas. She got a tick bite last about a year and a half ago, and she got whatever I think it was called like Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like Lyme disease on steroids. She almost died, and the doctor straight up told her, he said to her, Joan, you're not going to survive another one of these tick bites. I mean,
you'll have effects for the rest of your life on that.
Her kidneys were shutting down. Her liver was affected. Like, she was in bad shape. And the spot on her leg was the size of a basketball, and it was black. I mean, it looked like she was skin dying.
Joke,
and it was bad.
What I like about them is they require a full body search.
Yeah.
Cavity search.
And they love the buttholes.
Yeah. And the undercarriage of the
they love
nutsack.
the undercarriage.
Dude, I'll tell you what I did get
They
on my
like the hairy
undercarriage.
crevices is actually what they like.
Yeah, me too.
What I did get on my undercarriage wasn't ticks, was fucking chiggers. Have you all ever fucked with
Chiggers?
chiggers?
Oh my God,
I'll
dude.
tell you what, man.
Oh.
I got
Chiggers in Arkansas.
They're so
are-
bad.
Oh, they're awful.
They're bad. I went to Barber, and that's one of my moto camping trips. We went to Barber, and I camped out in a little like single like A-frame tent. And
Then you got chiggers.
I got chiggers, and they were like all the way up my leg to my groin. Like it was the
Yeah.
worst.
I had like
it was
chigger
the worst
boxers.
2 weeks ever. Oh,
They were like they must have fucking just congregated in the crotchal region.
oh my
man.
God, dude!
Yeah.
It was so bad,
Boxers
dude.
are
And they
whitey
lasted
tighty.
forever.
I mean, it's like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's just the worst thing.
swell
in the world.
up.
It was
How did
terrible.
you-
Chiggers.
How did you
So
not
when-
just go home and just stand in the hot shower? I wouldn't have gotten out of the shower
Actually, I
until
think
they
the
were.
hot shower would make it worse.
Dude,
I think
I
you
was running
typically
around.
want something milky and cool.
Ugh.
I was
I got
running
that.
around for weeks with cans of calamine lotion, that spray calamine lotion
Yeah.
in my pockets.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
I'd
need
just
something
drop
soothing.
brain right there and just spray it up. I didn't care where I was.
Dude,
No,
it was
it's
so
not a-
bad.
The trick is
You lather in
you need
Greek
to
yogurt.
go get like pantyhose and cut them off at the knees and wear those. That'll keep the chiggers
Why
out of
can't you
your
wear the
crotch.
full pantyhose?
Because it
Now,
gets too hot.
Dave's coming out here now.
Why
He's
in
talking
the-
about
Well, listen to this guy.
Dude, I'm serious.
Rambo here just.
Saying.
I'm serious. No, when I
I'll be
was
right back.
teaching at the
That's the man
academy
tricks.
in Fort Smith in Arkansas, we would take the troops out for like 72 hours of deep, big, intense training in the woods.
dude. If
And
I
I'd
put
tell
on
him-
pantyhose,
You say it, and every cycle I taught, I would tell the students to go do that. Go to the PX, get pantyhose, cut them off the knees. I'm not wearing any fucking pantyhose. I'm not wearing any fucking pantyhose. And those were the guys when we got back to the barracks that were in the shower screaming bloody murder because they got like just covered in chiggers in their crotch. It also keeps the ticks
so
out.
do you remember those old school frosting caps that they would use in the 70s? And like it was like a rubber head thing they'd put on their head and pull the hair through
Yeah,
to frost
Yeah,
their
yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
That's what my shit would look like if I put on pantyhose.
What the
What do you,
fuck?
Andy?
What
do
the
you-
hell is Andy doing?
You have pantyhose on your head?
What's
They're
that, Andy?
pantyhose.
What?
I think you could sell those now.
They're pantyhose.
Oh, we could set. That's the new merch, new Five Dirty Biker merch.
Yeah, dude, that's it.
Here's my thing, Dave. My cotton panties have less see-through than these pantyhose.
But they get in the cotton panties is the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. So you
Yeah.
put the pantyhose on. The ticks. First off, the ticks
And
can't
look, I
get
messed up
to
my
you,
hair.
and then the chiggers can't get up in there.
Well, I'm wearing those straight up
But if you've got,
I mean,
I
I'm
can
gonna
send
test
you this
this.
pair.
because I never want chiggers again.
No,
so
I
I
don't
will
either.
gladly
I
wear
don't either.
pantyhose.
Oh,
I would
that's
rather tongue
awful.
punch a dog's ass than get chiggers again.
Dude,
God.
it's the worst thing.
It's
That
so
is
bad.
awful. That is awful.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. So what about at FDBM? Do you think there'll be the possibility of ticks and chiggers?
We won't
not
be
in
camping.
Pennsylvania, no.
We're staying in a motel,
In
hotel,
September,
Holiday
yeah,
Inn.
Yeah, we're in Pennsylvania. It's a
Well,
it's
no.
a
I mean,
occupied
I'm
part
staying
of
at the Red
Pennsylvania.
Roof, so there's a very good chance of
You-
me
you
getting
may
some
get
kind of
something
infestation.
besides-
Honey,
Yeah,
those
something
are
other
bed
than
bugs.
I would
chicks.
say
those
more
are
like
bed bugs.
crotch crickets would be
Yeah.
the problem at
Yeah.
the Red Roof Inn.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
hope so.
you might
Yeah.
need to make sure you're just updated on your hepatitis shots if you're going to
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can't,
I am.
You
I'm good.
can't get herpes just from a bed, y'all.
I would say crotch crickets would be those fuckers can jump.
I'm gonna say that if you take all your clothes off and just drag your balls across the bed sheets a few times, you might get something from that, Andy. I'm just
Andy,
saying.
and then I'm going to sell them.
Andy, are you sure you can't get herpes from a bed?
Well,
Dave has tried.
Because I'm thinking maybe that bitch was lying to me then.
yeah, no shit, right?
Whoops.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that we were told in our ute to scare us, and
Ute?
that
What's a ute?
wasn't the truth.
It's not an animal, that's for sure.
Well,
Yeah. Well, if anybody wants to borrow those, I can send them your way. I'm not wearing them again.
What is your exact address?
you do not want a case of the old pube puppies, I can tell you that.
Tony has a name for everything, and I'm here
You don't
for
want
it.
it
Like I want the
barking up any
Tony.
tree.
of the
Well, actually,
dictionary.
Annie doesn't have to worry about that. She's slick like a seal.
Like a baby
She's like
seal.
Thanks for
seal skin.
remembering.
It's like seal skin. Just
You know-
slides through the water.
Thanks for remembering. I would hate to have to tell everybody again.
He will never forget,
Oh.
ever.
You know, it goes with a lifeguard because I guess if you were full native and that thing logged up with water, it would pull you down.
We moved away from crotches, and then as soon as we started talking about camping, we went right back to crotches again.
Well,
I know, and
those two. I mean, those two are hand in hand. Camping, crotches.
Dude,
So, we
you
were
have to
talking- we were
maintain your
talking
crotch
about-
when you're camping.
We were talking about hammocks, and then we got all the way to chiggers in your bunghole.
Banana hammock.
It's like what didn't Lieutenant Dan say that? Take care of your crocs or your
Your
crotch.
crotch. Well, actually, it was socks.
Take care of your crotch.
but
Oh, I
you-
read. I thought
you
it was
need
crotch.
to take care of your crotch when you're out there because it can go
You guys
bad
do
quick.
have. I think it is important for you guys to know that when, like, sometimes I'll share with Greg these little teasers that you guys put out, and I shared the whole, happy Thanksgiving, I got my cooter waxed, and he just looked at me. He's like, "Well, you did. You're telling the truth. In fact, you did do that." And I was like, thank you for your support, honey. Like, he
There
just
it
didn't even
is.
blink an eye. He's like, "You did do that."
God
So,
bless him. That's
There
a
you
real
go.
man right there.
Yeah, that's good for supporting you.
That's it. That's a
Yeah.
real man. Hey, you know what my favorite
right.
camping? What I want for camping that I see all the time and I've never had.
What's that?
I want the tent that you can like that has the garage that you pull the bike into.
Jay has one of those when
Really?
he took it to Colorado and when we went. And man, you better have 35, 45 minutes to set that motherfucker up.
Is it that bad?
There's
Yeah, they're
goddamn
a lot.
whole city, man. It's
But it's
a
so
lot.
cool looking. Every time you see pictures of it, I'm like, oh yeah, I want one of those.
Dave and I share a friend. I guess everybody here but Prentice
Do
has
ya?
met him. Walter Volts.
Oh.
He's on Instagram. So or on Discord.
We don't share
he
him.
showed
That
up to
sounds
the
really
very
weird,
first
Ryan.
FDBM. We don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
was
don't-
going
we
to
don't share.
say.
That's just
Man, what's
no.
going on
He's
here?
mine now.
Yeah. Anyway,
And why
Black
can't I
job.
get a piece?
he showed up. He showed up to the very first FDBM with a super cool tent setup. Now it takes up a lot of room on your bike, but essentially your bike turns into a lean-to. It's like an A-frame that you rope off part of it
I've
to your
heard of
bike.
that. Yeah.
And then the one that he has though has an integrated sleeping pad in it. So
Oh, hey, I have it.
was
I have it
really
right here.
it was really really cool.
Do you have it?
So
Oh, a picture of it?
Yes.
The one that Walter had was a really cool setup. Now, like I said, it just takes up way too much room on your bike.
It's
But
Yeah.
really big. It's big. Yeah.
yeah,
That's what she
But it's
said.
very, very cool.
It's called the Toucan or something similar to that. And this particular one can hold 2 people. So while I have no intention and never will motorcycle camp, our friend Brandon, who some of you guys know, he is not only a Sears specialist, which for the Air Force, which teaches survival, evade techniques, things like that, but he also does love to motorcycle camp. And so this is the one he has, and he thought if Greg and I ever wanted to go together, we could snuggle. But yeah, it's like this whole kit in caboodle. Is it something like this?
His is
Yeah,
his
that's-
is
oh,
different.
yeah.
Pretty similar.
Same thing. Yeah.
yeah, his is more of a triangle shape. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, this one even has a place to hang your helmet at night.
Yeah.
Just make sure you don't sleep on the wrong
I did
side
not
of
see
your bike.
that as a helmet at first.
What'd you think it was?
No, it looked like, because I'm sitting
think
so
it's
far away, it looked like
hemorrhoid or
a
something?
portal. Like, no, it looked like somebody had done some like effect on it, and it looks like a galaxy. or something.
Dude, if you had
Like,
a
that's
hemorrhoid
that's
big.
a weird stock image.
Yeah, but that
So yeah.
that kind of tent setup is pretty cool. I had this whole when I first got back into motorcycling, I had this whole romanticized idea that I was gonna, go camping and sleep on the ground and do that old thing, right, or do that whole
Fuck
thing.
that.
And I actually
too
did.
old.
I actually went out and had a tent, got it all set up, and I did one night sleeping like straight up on the ground. And it was the worst experience of my life, and I immediately went and got a sleeping pad. Well, I got an air mattress. I can't use a sleeping pad; doesn't work for me.
No, you
So
gotta
I
have an
actually
air
use an air mattress. Yeah,
Yeah,
I use an
you-
air mattress when I go.
You got to you
So
can't
there's
you got to have no direct contact with the ground.
Yeah,
you've got to
no.
be
So
up.
there's a company called Zen Bivy that makes a sleep system that's fucking awesome, and they come in all different sizes. But it's basically a quilt, a sheet, and an air mattress. And if you want to, you can turn it into a sleeping bag, or you can just use it as like a normal bed with like a top quilt. And they're pretty fucking awesome.
I have yet to I've yet to go all in with some of these like more expensive sleeping camping systems. I mean, I literally went with like the $19 air mattress from Walmart, and I've been using it for 4 years.
Well, when we went to Colorado, dude, in that rooftop tent, I was convinced. I was like, you know what? All I need is sheets and a comforter up there, and we'll be good. We
Yeah.
froze our fucking dicks off.
Well, of course you did.
So when I got back, I ordered this Zen Bivy system, and I mean, we were out the other day, and it was 38 degrees, and I mean, I was kicking a leg out.
Sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm looking them up. They actually look pretty cool. Actually, there's like they're having a giveaway or whatever. It's like the -5 degree light
Yeah,
bed
no,
giveaway. Like
they're
that's
pretty.
cool.
It's all down stuff, so it's super, super light and compresses real small.
Yeah.
Because in those rooftop tents, if you want to keep your stuff in there, it has to compress. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You can't have like a lot of thick stuff up there. So
Right.
it
Well, and
works out really
that's
good.
the other thing too for motorcycle camping is you need to get a sleeping bag that you can put that comes with a compression sack that you can make it
Yeah.
nice and small,
So like
because
the
that's
Zen
the
Bivy
other
will
thing.
make a whole system that'll work. Ultralight
But you
system.
don't need a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a sleeping bag, but I hardly ever use it unless it's going to be super cold. I just use a sleeping blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
sleep
okay.
at the fucking
Quilt.
Hilton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? There's a
We're
handful
talking
of
about
times I've
camping.
done camping.
What's your thermostat set at right now, Dave?
Yeah, no shit. I mean, I'm not even making fun
78.
of you because I'd be right there with you.
Yeah,
so,
no,
78. God damn.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, it's not
Oh,
78. Dude,
I'm
like, it's
fucking
like
sweating your
68.
balls off.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it.
No,
I'm
I had to get-
perimenopausal. Ugh.
I had to get the I had to get the 0 degree sleeping bag because I had one that was rated down to like 35 degrees, and it didn't keep me warm at 35 degrees.
So hang on. 35 degrees mean the rating on a sleeping bag doesn't mean you're going to be comfortable at 20. It means you can survive.
Yeah,
at 20. Yeah.
I discovered that, right?
Yeah.
So that basically what I was told is you take the rating on the sleeping bag, you add 10 to 15
At
degrees.
15, yeah.
Yeah, and that's about what you'd stay warm at. Is 15 degrees warmer than the rating of the sleeping
Yeah.
bag.
You can survive the night at 20 if you got a 20-degree bag. You know what I mean?
Right. So, yeah, and
I always
so
just try to put like more, like I try to put base layers on and keep that on. Like I always end up putting more like for base layers on than I do covers wise. I probably should look into.
yeah,
Well,
I
the
just
sleeping bag kind of works opposite, though, because your body heat warms it up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So if you put on too much shit, you don't give the
You're
sleeping
not.
bag the opportunity to do its
Yep.
job.
and I have one of those cocoon style sleeping bags, and then it has
I can't sleep in them motherfuckers,
Well,
man. Those
I-
mummy
mummy bag?
bags.
yeah,
You mean a
I
mummy
didn't-
bag?
I didn't think so either, but the one I have has what's called a foot box.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the bottom of the feet is more like a square, so you can at least keep your feet up, so your feet you don't feel so trapped in the bottom of it.
Yeah, because you've got some big ass fucking feet.
I don't actually.
You
for
need
how tall
a big
I am.
fucking
I don't
bag
have big
too,
feet.
dude. Jesus, you need that.
Yeah, I did.
extra
I did have
large
to get the
motherfucker.
big. I did have to get a bigger bag, but
I will say that the down stuff is worth it when
Yeah.
it comes to that. It's more expensive, but it's warmer and it's light and it packs up tiny. Because even though I'm in a truck most of the time, room's still at a fucking
Premium.
premium.
Yeah. I think
Okay, so
what I've enjoyed most about motorcycle camping, honestly, is after the end of the day of riding and all that kind of stuff, you come back, you sit at your campsite, whether you're going to drink a beer, drink soda or whatever, and you're sitting by the fire and you cook all your shit right there. Like that, that's the best part. Andy knows this about me, and I've said it a million times. My favorite time when I'm with people is when you're breaking bread, when you're hanging out, when you're
hanging out. And I'll tell you what else.
And that's the best part. I was just gonna say that's the best part. And I love doing the like rustic cooking by the fire. Like we make steak and potatoes and just wrap them in tinfoil and throw them right in the fire. That kind of stuff is fun. I really do like that.
It's a ton. I'll tell you what else you need too is a good chair. Do not skimp on a fucking chair.
Yep.
You have to have a good chair.
So what do you recommend for a chair then? I'm just curious.
So
what do you recommend?
In a motorcycle, there's a company called Helinox.
Yep.
That makes a backpacking chair, and they don't look like they would be comfortable, but they really are. They're pretty good.
So do they just compress, or do they?
It's
like
it's
how low to the ground
thing.
do they sit?
It all depends on which one you get. They have a lot of different models, but I keep a couple of those in the truck just in case people leave them. But that is one thing that I use space in the truck for is a good fucking chair.
Yeah. REI makes a good one.
Yeah.
It's same thing. It's all, the poles break apart. That's what I've got.
And I bought a cheaper one when I first started going that I used for 2 seasons, and I broke it and just fucking threw it away at a campsite and then went and bought one that was better.
Yeah, that Helinox is about $130, $150, but when you sit in it, you can feel the difference.
I mean, it all makes a difference too because the cheaper chairs have like the round foot pads. And so as soon as you sit down in the chair, it fucking sinks into the ground.
Yeah.
So you need one that has the square foot pads, and it just makes a huge difference, like Tony said, to have a chair that is comfortable, that you're going to be comfortable sitting on, and that is doesn't take up too much space when you pack it.
Yeah.
So
that is something
Let me ask you guys this, because people are all like, when I was out this summer, I don't know how many people were like, "Oh, were you camping while you were traveling for 5 weeks?" I'm like, fuck no. I mean, I don't know.
No.
Why would you go on a tour like that and camp? I mean, to me, there's a difference between, what we're talking about is like going somewhere specifically to camp, right?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Not on a trip. I would never camp on a tour.
I
just couldn't see it.
I do share a little bit of Andy's, wanting to be in a hotel. I have only one requirement when we moto camp is that we have to be staying in a campground that has a shower.
That's a good one.
I take a shower every day. I don't go 4 or 5 days without taking a shower. So and just gonna be, even if it's just one shower a day, but I have to be in a campsite that has a shower.
You know what I learned?
How many times a day do you shower?
Like normally.
Yeah.
Very often, twice a day. Very often.
Wow. I use these when I'm camping in the truck. I'll take those. And actually, my wife told me about it because she's in physical therapy, and I've been in EMS, so I should know this. But like all of like the nursing home body bathing wipes.
Yeah.
These like massive.
Yeah, like those dude wipes.
Yeah, but they're just like they're like massive, and you can get them if you don't get like the dude wipes or like the like the cool shit name brands. You can actually get some that were like made for nursing homes, and they're like super
Just at
cheap. You get them on
Walgreens.
Amazon. Yeah, and they're incredible. Like they don't dry out. You actually feel clean, like top to bottom. It's incredible, and I use those a lot. And I think though, if you like in a pinch, even for you, Ryan, I think like you use one, and I think you'd be like, okay, like you feel better after using it.
Oh, for
so
sure.
I always keep a couple of those on me.
Yeah,
I carry
used
those
them
with
because
me all the time when I travel, especially in the summer. Right,
Yeah.
because you sweat so
for
much, especially if you're wearing gear. And I'll pull off on the side of the road, and they're like body towels, the big ones.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I used
Pull
them
your
after
pants
jiu-jitsu
down?
because like I was I had to drive home, and it's always weird getting out off of sweaty mats. You just feel gross putting normal clothes back on, so I would literally just wipe
And
down after.
nobody wants swamp ass, dude. That's
No.
a miserable.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not a
Well, it fucks
happy
you up,
time. But
like long term, if you don't deal with it. you
yeah,
know?
no, dude, you get that 7-day itch. That motherfucker won't go away. But when I go out there, I'm no fucking hero now. So if I know it's gonna rain, I'm going to the fucking Holiday Inn.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Or after a couple days, I'm going to the Hilton. I'm not. It's supposed to be fun, and if I'm out there and I gotta fuck with shit, it's no longer fun, and that's when I go to the Embassy Suites.
That's a good way to look at it.
And we've done that too. We went on a trip not last year but the year before, and we had a 3-day or 4-day weekend planned, and we went home at the end of we cut it like a day and a half short, and it was good that we did because huge storms went through. The place that we were camping got like 4 inches of rain, and it's no fun to motorcycle camp when it's raining because then everybody goes and sits in their tents.
Dude, it's
know?
no fun camping in the rain anyway.
No,
I mean, it's
that's the
fucking
same. Yeah,
miserable.
like that's the same even in overlanding or anything. It's just like
The
it
only
just
time
rain
what were you
sucks.
gonna
fun to
say,
camp
Andy?
in the rain is her fifth wheel that Andy was talking about. Then camping in the rain's fine.
What
Yeah.
were you trying to say?
I have a question, 2 questions. One before is that, so we go to the lake in Minnesota because my family owns a cabin
Minnesota.
out there. Yeah, it's very Midwestern of me. But so we actually bathe in the lake. We actually don't bathe. We don't actually shower
With the
because
fish?
That works.
We can't do that in Florida.
So can you do that?
Not in
Brian,
Florida,
would you feel
you're not.
comfortable
no,
with that?
we get flesh-eating bacteria down here in the
Yeah,
summer.
you
There's
get
no way.
something swim up
but
your
I mean,
dick. You'll never
I'm
be the
literally
same.
talking about like we're bathing, showering, washing our hair, shaving our legs, or whatever in a crystal clear lake. And
You could in the
I mean,
springs down here
Yeah.
because the springs, like, there's nothing more refreshing than the springs because they're never above 72 degrees, like all year round. Even in the winter, they're 72 degrees. So like in the summer when it's super hot out, and there are some springs that you can swim at. If getting into them is the tricky part, but if I'm camping out, absolutely. Like you don't even have to bathe; just getting in there just
So
feels
refreshing.
wonderful. Yeah, it's
I've
just
done
you
it-
feel cleansed.
I've done it as a kid. I haven't done it as an adult, and I'll be honest. If I was gonna do it, I would feel a lot more comfortable if I was doing it in moving water rather than stagnant lake water. That's where I would prefer. Like if I was gonna camp, say in Montana, for instance. That's actually one of the things I'd love to do is camp in a place where we're camping by a river and then do that very thing.
Oh yeah.
You use the river to take a shower or bathe in or whatever you're gonna do. But I'd love to do that kind of thing, like that kind of camping. But for the most part, I prefer to camp in a campground that just has a shower facility. And we've done both. The like state parks and stuff tend to be a lot more, a lot less expensive to camp in. But those we found out tend to be the more buggy ones. But but the ones that are not state campgrounds tend to be, you get a lot of the weekend campers, and then if you're parked next to the wrong people, you get those people that sit up by the fire all night long, and they're fucking loaded at 4 o'clock in the morning when you're like, I got 17 hours to ride on my bike tomorrow.
With the 1,400 LEDs on there.
Right, exactly.
there.
Like, I'm just trying to get like 5 or 6 hours of sleep before I have to ride a bunch. So like, I'm not wanting to hear your dick jokes at 3 o'clock in the morning. But it just depends on what you're looking for. We actually camped 2 years ago at this campground in Minnesota that was on the border of Minnesota, Wisconsin, right next to a river, and it was beautiful. I mean, great campground. We just had to, like, because of the number of people we had to get 2 campsites, but we just asked them, like, if we pay for 2 campsites, can we just put all of our tents on one? So, you know what I mean? We like to kind of like put your tents together in one spot, so you have your bike and your tents, and everything's kind of close together. And so they were like, they were super cool about it. So we just like pulled the picnic tables around and moved some stuff around, and they were cool about it. But sometimes there's rules about that, like how many tents you can have on a campsite. So make sure you don't want to be a dick about it, because you're already going to pull into the campground in the evening, right? With your motorcycles loud as fuck, waking everybody up. So, try to like follow the rules of the campground too a little bit.
Well, before we wrap up, let me ask a question. Go ahead, Andy.
Well, I have one more really important question because I'm super bougie. What the fuck do you use as a pillow, Tony? Because my neck is janky as all get out.
Legit, since I have a rooftop tent, I keep fucking regular pillows up there. Like,
Oh, okay.
what we use at the house.
I've got
Ryan,
a
how
really
about
good,
you guys?
really good pillow from C to. It's shit. I can't remember the name of it. It's really good though. I went through 3 pillows before I found one that actually worked. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, no, I have a couple too. I'll send you a link because I use a couple in like the hammocks and stuff like that. We've really gone like balls deep in these hammocks.
I've actually
yeah.
found.
That's the only way I'd like to go in one.
Yeah, but I mean, no, we've really
Get all twisted up
we've
inside.
really gotten into the hammocks. My
will
wife
say
loves them.
The one that you should avoid is that one that they sell you, which is basically a bag, and they tell you to put your dirty clothes in there and use that for a pillow. Don't do that. That's not
Dave's
worth it.
fuck.
Are you
fucking
being Iceman again?
Just fucking Darth Vader. He just Darth Vadered us.
He's being
now,
Iceman
he
again.
He looks like he's gonna take a giant bite out of the ass right now. He's like frozen giant bite out of ass.
It looks like he's getting ready to motorboat those cheeks.
Fuck
It's
yeah.
like
Val
everything
Kilmer
I had
did
to
his
swallow
blade.
that.
Son of a bitch, you.
Fucking hotel.
You already did the
internet.
Val Kilmer bit. You can't do it again.
okay.
Dave, you almost made me choke.
Yeah.
Hey.
Sorry. I don't know if you heard
Almost,
that
she
or
said.
not,
Yeah.
She didn't make him choke. Almost though.
but let me
I have-
ask.
so
you
we
before
won't-
we
Go ahead.
before we wrap up, because I think what we're talking about right now mostly is camping in the summer. Have you guys ever gone moto camping in the winter?
I
That's when you
prefer
start
camping
here.
in the winter. Fuck summertime. It's too hot.
Yeah. The same, and that's the thing in Florida. Like I'd prefer,
Yeah.
like right now, I'd camp easily.
Yeah, but you're
I
weird
can't
in
motor camp
Florida.
in the wintertime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't.
Can't even
You're
ride a
fucked.
motorcycle in the
True,
wintertime.
true.
But I
Yeah.
mean, if it's in the 30s, I'm good. I'm good to go.
You're good in your truck, but not on a motorcycle.
I'm not on a motorcycle, but you can camp in the winter. I have a diesel heater that we roll with too. That's pretty
Well, there you
badass.
go.
Yeah. Lately here it's like low in the high 40s. Right now it's like low in the high 40s and highs in the 60s. It's immaculate camping weather. So
Our
yeah,
high today
I
was
could go out.
30.
Yikes.
Ours was 28.
Yeah, I woke up with 17 this morning.
Ours was 19. 19 was the high.
That's insane. I do want to think one thing we didn't touch on, and we don't have a whole lot of time to do it here, but
wish
this
somebody
will
would
be
touch
for the
on it.
Discord. Like I would love to, I would love to know what you guys do for like luggage setup, right? Like for me on a street glide, now that I'm on a street glide, I have my 2 bags, the hard bags, and if I got like a touring pack, is that enough space? Do I need to
brother,
add
dude.
more?
Dude,
Modular space.
Let's meet over coffee. I can
Yeah.
talk moto luggage
Oh, I'm
to
sure,
hell
yeah.
with you, man. I've tried it all.
What was that piece of shit that you had that kept flying off your motorcycle and you kept defending it for a year?
Well, you're talking about the Rick Rack, and I
Yeah,
did not
that's it.
defend it. I was
You
not
did. You're like,
defending it.
oh, I think it's all right. No, that motherfucker blew off every time you started the bike.
No, I pointed out the engineering faults with their designs. I didn't defend it. I was just
I gotta
saying
see
how
this.
they
That
should
son
fix
of a
it.
bitch blew
I
more
think-
than Linda Lovelace.
I think that they changed their design from when Dave had it from when I had it because the system that I bought is actually still being used by Kenny.
But hang on.
He bought
hang
it.
on,
He bought
no.
it for me, and it's working great.
Yeah, but I don't think we had the same one. You had the one that mounts sideways on the tour pack, right?
Not sideways.
No?
The mounting system still goes front to back. It doesn't go side to side.
Front to back. I thought it
Most
mounted.
people prefer it that way.
No,
I thought it mounted sideways.
it didn't. It mounts on the front to back.
So the open legs go towards the front of your bike.
The open legs
Hell yeah,
always
they
go
do.
forward.
Yep, the open legs went towards the front of the bike. Yep,
Always forward.
yep, and
Yeah,
it
that's
worked.
where you got messed up, Dave.
That system is like I said, it's still in use. Kenny's still using the same bag, the same system that I used. And I
Just more
use
lubricant.
it. I use it for 2 or 3 years, 2 years maybe, 3 years. But
Yeah, well, mine
Yeah.
was not made for a tour pack. It was made for the rack.
the rack,
Whatever they call the fucking rack.
yeah.
It was the same one that $1 billion fucking Bogan had when that his came off too.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
Thing was
Okay,
worthless.
so before we leave, a couple of things. Should we tell them what we're doing over the next couple of episodes, or should we leave it a secret?
What are
What
we
are we
doing?
doing?
Let's
Yeah,
tell
what are
them.
we doing?
Tell
Well, should we tell them who we're having on next week?
Tell them.
Who are we
Why
having
not?
on? This is all news to me, so let's keep it going.
Yeah, tell them.
The one, the only, Brady, founder of Go Fast, Don't Die.
Yeah.
He will be on next week
I
just to
thought we were
kind of
having
chit chat
Greg
with
Brady
us.
on.
From the Brady Bunch?
Yes,
Oh, my
man.
God.
I thought we were talking. Here's a story.
Well, Marsha Brady, I'd be here.
So yeah, he's going to be on. So this episode will be great because obviously, well, maybe not obviously, a lot of you may know that Brady and Go Fast Don't Die sponsor a motorcycle camping trip every year called the Devil's Stone, and so it's
the Devil's Stone Run.
Devil's Stone Run, yep. It's a 4-day trip, and they do motorcycle camping, and it goes from Sheridan, Wyoming to Yellowstone, and then back again. So, and then the episode after that, the 5 of us, the Dirty 5, will be doing a white elephant gift exchange, and tonight we are drawing names. So I have decided.
How are we pulling this gift exchange off?
Well, I think that we have to come up with some terms. I think it needs to be from Amazon because that's easier for everybody, right? It's just you order it on Amazon and send it that direction.
Ship
and
it
I
to
think
the
you
person.
have to keep it under $25.
Okay.
And I think it needs to either, and I guess I don't really care if it's motorcycle related, but it has to be, I think it has to be related to that particular, what'd you say?
You know, Adam and Eve
Vibrator.
ships discreetly also.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, whatever. I mean, if you and Ryan draw each other's names, I know y'all are close. But
Tony's
going
to get edible underwear.
Hey, man,
Bye.
I think I'm finalizing the
For
design
what?
on the Cox 2000, the tooth chipper.
Oh, I thought it was the glory hole.
No, I'm working on the Cox 2000.
Mm-hmm.
When you
So
get
we'll
done
kinda
with it, your
finalize-
toes will be curled and your teeth are gone.
I like my team.
Oh my God.
All right, so I decided that we're going to go in reverse because sometimes it's fun to switch things up. We're going to go alphabetical in reverse. So, Tony, the first name I draw is who you get. You ready? Hold on. You're not ready?
No.
Well, tough shit.
No.
You get Ryan.
Oh, well, look at that. Easy enough.
Vibrator.
Yeah, you're
fun.
welcome.
All right,
pack
and
of
now
finger
Ryan, you get, oh, fuck, Tony.
How did that happen?
How did you
I
do
don't
that?
I think that was rigged.
Oh, no.
No, the fucking setup.
Prentice-
That is what I like to
Prentice-
call a fuck show of
That's so
fuckery right
good.
there.
Prentice-
I'm not going for it.
You get Andy,
Hey, Vibrator.
which means that Dave gets
Prentice.
Prentice,
Yeah.
and Andy gets Dave.
Dave.
I love it. I
Great.
love it.
It's
I don't
so
want.
good.
I don't want anything from your career as a butt doctor. Okay.
Come on. I'm only here to make it more comfortable for you.
Was that your line? Did you have a T-shirt that said that when you walked into the room?
Finger condoms would be a perfect gift.
There you go.
Her T-shirt said, "Take a deep breath and bear down."
To just breathe through the pressure.
Bite the pillow.
So how is this going to work? Are we going to open these? Like
Okay,
we're going to
so
open
we
the
have,
box
I think,
live?
3 weeks till. Well, so yep. So we're going to open them. So
They have
we'll
to be
figure
opened
out
on the live
the-
stream because that's the only thing that makes sense.
That I would say
that would
the
make
same.
sense.
Yep.
So you need to
Yep.
get this shit done within the next week. Share your address with the appropriate person. So Dave, I'll need your address, and then
1313
we will
Mockingbird Lane.
get these shipped. And then on the live on the 16th, we will open them with everybody else. And I think it'll be a very interesting, telling episode.
Well, I got to tune this diesel motor on the Cox 2000. It doesn't use batteries. It's a fucking full start diesel.
Are you already selling them on Amazon? What the hell?
I'm just trying to figure out the exhaust. It keeps burning the inside of the thighs.
We might get kicked off
Selling them
YouTube
on-
after
He's
this.
selling them on. He's
Oh,
selling
there's
them on
this thing called a
Temu.
heat guard.
A heat guard.
I wrap my pipes in it. Heat guard? It'll work.
You wrap your pipes in it, huh? Jesus Christ.
Wrapping the pipes.
Well, I might have to try that.
I'll send you some.
For fuck's sake.
Oh, gosh. Well, it was good to see all you guys. We missed the 3 of you. Dave and I, we missed
No,
you
we
guys
didn't.
last week.
No,
but
we didn't. It was amazing.
This is true.
It
Dave,
was-
I was trying to be polite.
You don't need to be
I was
polite.
trying to be demure.
I was driving. Actually, I was in Florida, but I was just got there and I was fucking dog ass tired.
Fair enough. Fair
It's
enough.
a long fucking drive down.
Sure is.
We didn't, we got into this episode. We didn't read in. We didn't read out.
Oh man,
Because
fuck
we're
that.
all just so damn excited.
Well, it's because Prentice has such a great intro and outro now. We don't need to do that anymore, right?
That's right. Big gulp.
I don't know.
Well,
See you later.
Prentice, Andy, Ryan, Dave, Tony, 5 dirty freaks, talking nasty, riding free. Turn it up, baby. Prentice on the mic, riding smooth, riding slow. Andy bringing fire, got that filthy glow. Ryan's laughing hard, dropping lines so raw. Dave and Tony riding tight, breaking every law. We're 5 dirty freaks, baby, we don't play. Talking wild, living loud, riding all damn day. From the streets to the mic, it's dirty and true. 5 dirty souls, and we're coming for you. Andy's got the sass, Prentice got the style. Ryan's jokes hit hard, they'll stick for a while. Dave keeps it steady, Tony's got the groove. 5 dirty freaks, making all the